Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby and I warmly welcome you to the Caribbean and to my container garden here in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to my life, guys. It is now nighttime and this is the time that I have left to give my plants a feed. Today was a very full day. We said goodbye to a very dear friend of ours, and it was an emotional day to say the least. And after the funeral, I took the kids to the park so that I wanted to ensure that they were in a good frame of mind. So I wanted to make sure that they were just happy and playing and being kids. So I took them to the park. We got takeout, we got Chinese. We sat in the park, we watched the sunset, and I let them run about with those kids and just be children. And after they had their fill, and I had to say, okay, it's time to go home. We came home and I got all my chores done as regards dealing with the chickens. We put them to bed so the meat birds have their feed for the night and their water for the night. We gave them a fresh layer of straw so that they would have fresh bedding to lay on throughout the night. And we also put down this little window that my husband built on this panel wall here. We put down the window so that they would feel secure in their coop tonight. And now we need to tackle the plants. It is now 15 days since I last fed my plants, and container plants is something that you need to feed regularly. The regimen is recommended is between 7 to 14 days to feed your container plants to keep them in the best of health. Now why do we need to feed our plants so regularly? It's quite obvious, guys. They are in containers, they are contained, and so their delicate roots, their vigorous roots cannot go anywhere but stay in the containers, and they would have used up all the nutrients in the containers. So we must feed them regularly. And so I use a mixture of fertilizers in my containers. Even though, yes, I put compost in the containers, you still need to keep the nutrient value in the soil to optimum. So I have been using soluble fertilizer. I tried a new one called Nova Red, and I found that worked really well in the rainy season because it had extra boron, and boron is something that also keeps the health of the plant going good in containers. And so I found that worked really well for my plants. As you can see, the foliage, they are doing good. But in the last month, the last two feedings, I've been using an experiment of mine. I used some of the offal of last killing from the meat chickens. When we processed the chickens the last time, I kept the blood from that processing, and I placed it into a blue container, and I filled it with water, and I left it open for a little bit so that it could breathe and do what's not. I didn't want it to get anaerobic, so I left it open for at least 2 weeks. And when I then started to see, the creepy crawlies, then I covered the bottle. It's an experiment, and I covered the bottles to stop the creepy crawlies from coming out, because that's what they are, creepy crawlies. And so I covered the bottle and I left it there again for the next month or two. I think I don't even remember how many weeks that I left it, but it was quite a while. And I left it in the bottle, doing its thing in the bottle. And so after I did that, I started to use it in my feeding of the plants. So now I didn't use it straight from the bottle. I'm still diluting it quite a bit. I'm actually diluting it 5 parts water to 1 part of this solution. So for every gallon, I am using a liter of this solution. So that's 4 to 1. But if you could say 5 liters, every 5 liters, I'm using 1 liter of this solution, and I am giving it to the plants to keep them in good health. I haven't seen any backlash from it as regards, issues pertaining to the plant getting funguses or anything like that. And so that's why I'm so confident in mentioning it right here on my channel. But what I really wanted to do was to highlight the importance of feeding your plants and having a very strict regimen in feeding your plants. So no matter how busy your schedule is, guys, because my schedule was quite busy today, you need to feed your plants. They are living things and they need nutrients to thrive and to produce. So without further ado, I am going to get started because I actually set a timer on my phone, 20 minutes, that I need to get my feeding done and get back to the chores on the inside. Since I've been inside, I've put the dinner on, I've put clothes to wash, I have the kids watching a little TV to keep them distracted and contained so I could do this and have a chat with you guys. And let's get right into it, guys. Time's ticking. So I have my 5-gallon bucket of water here, as you can see, and my bin with my concoction here, where I use the blood from the chickens. And I don't know how I'm gonna show you. Let me get a container and show you how it looks when I pour it out, and we could go from there. So I was looking for a container to be able to share with you guys how it looks. I could tell you it don't smell pretty. So this is how it looks after it has been brewing in the container there for some time. As you can see, it still has a bit of a feather in there, and it's all brown. It actually looks like what we buy in the store. These soluble fertilizers, these organic soluble fertilizers, and I think that's enough. I'm just gonna put that amount in there. And again, this is an experiment to see if I can make my own organic feeding fertilizer. And this this is how it's looking. I'm not gonna move it anymore. It's pretty heavy. So that is what I'm going to be feeding my plants tonight. Now, I don't give it too much of this. As I said, I'm experimenting. So just give it a little bit. I mean, you could use your discretion, and place it whatever compost tea that you're using on your plants. My timer just went off, so I need to quickly and feed all these plants. So that's it, guys. I was able to feed all the plants and give them a little bit of this soluble fertilizer, homemade, using the offal from our last processing of the chickens. And as time goes by, you will see for yourself whether it is something that's viable, if something that you could give a try. Guys, I don't know it all. I really don't know it all. But what I do know is that if I fail to experiment, if I fail to try new things, then how would I learn? If I fail to try, then I've failed already. So I'm using the ingredients that I have on hand, because when you read the labels of some of these organic fertilizers, they tell you the same things that we have in our homes, in our yardsteads, in our homesteads, the same things they're using. And they're just taking the time and the energy and the, putting a little bit of thought into it, and then putting it in a bottle and then selling it to us. So I'm just experimenting with it to see if this ingredient is something that I can make for myself and use in the garden. Now, some of you may be wondering what's a good time to fertilize your plants, and research shows that the late evenings and the early mornings, the wee hours of the morning, is the best time to fertilize your plants, especially as here in the warmer climates, when the plants going through a lot of stress during the heat, especially those in the containers. That is not the time that you want to be sprinkling or spraying any fertilizer onto your plant. It is already under stress, and so the plant will not efficiently use those nutrients in the soil. Most likely the sun will heat up the foliar spray and burn the foliage, or it will heat up in the container and contribute to the burning of your roots. So really choosing the right time to fertilize is important, and it's really important that you have a regimen in feeding your container garden. Now, if you enjoyed the content, guys, please give me a big thumbs up and let me know what your thoughts are. I have no issue with you. If you disagree with what I'm doing, you could let me know in the comment section down below. Just let me know what your thoughts are on this new experiment of mine. And if you're new here, welcome. Please do hit that subscribe button. Please consider it. There's lots of things that I grow in the container, but this channel could only grow with your help. So please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, that's the end of my day, guys. Well, but you guys, I get to talk with you a little bit. Now I'm going back up to serve dinner and get everybody to bed, and hopefully I get a rest for the next day. So with that said, see you guys in the next one. Ta-ta.